channel. It's me, Fiers, Femme, Shamika, whichever one you want to call me. And today I wanted to come to you guys and talk about, well, I've been very candid on my journey about everything I've been going through and I went through. You can check out my TSW playlist. And I basically started from 5 months, just giving you updates and explaining to you the things I eat to help me and things that I do with my body. I just dropped a dry brushing video, and I also dropped a video on the stages of TSW, and it's doing really, really well. And I had a person comment under my video asking me if I tried the no moisture treatment, and I did, but I wanted to bring a more detailed video to my channel about it and what it is and how it helped me. So of course, you guys know I have my information pad that I wrote down some information on, and I just want to kind of guide you through the steps and let you know how I was feeling when I went through no moisture treatment. No moisture treatment is very, very, very hard. It is not for the weak, I would say that. And even though they have specific rules on no moisture treatment, I did it my way. So like I said, I'm gonna read off what I copied down, and then I will go ahead and let you know what I did in my process. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna read this off. No moisture treatment for TSW, which is extreme eczema. It's basically what happens to you when you take steroids. You don't have to take it orally, or you don't have to get the shots, but it still affects you the same way. Steroids is given for a lot of things, not just eczema, not just topical creams for eczema. It is used for joint pain, it is used for alopecia, it's used for a lot of things. So this video can be helpful to a lot of people, not just those going through TSW, but just because that's what I experienced. That's how I started talking about it after learning what I was going through was TSW, and all because of my topical use of creams, which I needed at the time. I thought I needed it. But anyways, so I have here notes on it. So no moisture treatment can be considered an erratic and pretty controversial method of re-educating your skin and your body to function normal again. When your body's natural inflammatory response to an eczema flare has been dampened by the use of topical corticosteroids. Now, I might say that wrong. I'm sorry. A lot of these words, I just don't say things right sometimes. But, you know. Corticosteroids resemble cortisol, a hormone that is naturally produced by our body's adrenal glands. Cortisol is a major player in a wide range of biological processes, including metabolism, immune response, and stress. Because the corticosteroids ease swelling and irritation, doctors often prescribe them to treat conditions like asthma, hives, or lupus. Corticosteroids can provide substantial relief of symptoms, but come with the risk of some serious side effects, especially if used long term. Now, I remember my mom taking me to the doctor, the dermatologist. She always had good coverage through her job, and so I was able to go see a dermatologist, not just a regular doctor or whatever. So I would go to my dermatologist. They'll check my whole body. I used to have to take my clothes off, and they check everywhere. And at the time, I didn't understand why they were doing that, because I literally only used to get it in my right here, like, it would be about this big. And I think when I was 16 was the first time it came out, like, around my neck. Now that I know what I know that that was not eczema, that was actually TSW. But when you go back to the doctor, all they did was give me a stronger cream to use, and that's what we would use, and it would go away. And then I remember, I think I was in my 20s, probably like 20, I don't want to be wrong, but I think I was like 24 or 25 when I started to go on my vegetarian diet. I decided I wasn't going to eat meat anymore or anything like that, just to see how it was going to help. Plus, my family suffers from like high cholesterol and things like that, so I felt like that would eliminate a lot of my skin issues and things like that. But something that we don't know is when we take these corticosteroids and other things, other medicines, they stay in our body, and sometimes, like they're saying, it it stops your body from doing something that it's supposed to do for you normally. So let's get back into it, because I know that's like a side story. But no moisture treatment is a way of training the skin and adrenal glands to work effectively by rationing the amount of water you put on or in your body. So that means, like, moisturizers and drinking. The long version is pretty long, but worth getting a handle on if you're in the thick of topical steroid withdrawal. No moisture treatment was pioneered by Dr. Kenji Sato in Hanan Chao, I don't want to say that wrong, hospital in Osaka, Japan. Dr. Sato, Dr. Sato, who discovered that restricting moisture intake from moisturizers on your skin and the water you drink daily allows skin damage by topical corticosteroids to heal quicker. Okay, for that part, I didn't limit. I mean, some days, I think like 3 days out of the week, I was still drinking my coconut water. I was still making my smoothies with like burdock root, Jamaican sarsaparilla, like just good herbs inside of my smoothies. Um, there was another thing I used to use: burdock root, Jamaican sarsaparilla, and can't remember the other one. If I remember, I'll just put it in the description box below. But I will make my smoothies. I'll drink my celery juice every morning. And then the other 2 days in the week, I would slow down on drinking the water. Like, I would drink water, but it wouldn't be a lot. And dang, I wish I had my bottle in here. But my bottle of water is usually like this big. And on those 3 days, I could drink anywhere from, at that time, because I used to be really thirsty, like, I would say five to six of those. But on the days when I was drinking less, I would only make sure I drink 2 of those. And I didn't put anything on my skin, nothing at all. Now, I'm gonna insert a picture. That was rough. When I tell you that was rough, not putting nothing on my skin. But I did do it to fit myself, because I started to notice that I couldn't sleep. So there were times when I would just take Aquaphor and put it like in the crease right here. My face was really messed up, so when I would eat, I would put around on my lip and in the corners, because it would crack and I didn't want it to bleed. So I would do that for protection. So like I said, if you're doing no moisture treatment, it's always a way that you could do it to make yourself feel comfortable. I just knew that when I was trying to put all the oils, or like I was using castor oil at one point because they said that would help, it did not help me. I know it helped a lot of people, but it didn't help me personally. And it would just make me, so it would feel good at first, but then I would find myself going like this and just skin just coming off. And that's what pushed me into doing no moisture treatment and really staying committed with it, because nothing was helping. It was just making it worse, Okay, when going through no moisture treatment, it was so painful. But at that point, I was willing to try anything. The ointments, oil, and creams were no longer giving me comfort. They made it hurt more and created more irritation. After coming across a couple of other people talking about this method, I figured, why not give it a try? Everyone's journey is different, so do what's best for you. So that's the note I wrote to read for you guys. Okay. Now, the steps of no moisture treatment that they're saying is, the first one is drinking. So they're telling you, like, limit your drink fluid intake to about 1 to 2 a day, depending on your weight and your symptoms. This includes fluid in your food. So fruit, for example, count towards the amount. Only drink 200 milliliters of water with your early dinner around 7 p.m. and have none overnight. So yeah, That is correct. I didn't drink water late at night anymore because I found that it would just come out through my pores and make me sweat and then make me scratch. So I would stop drinking around 7. That is correct. And that's another tip for just like if you're a person who gets up at night to pee all the time, you really have to stop drinking a certain amount of water or fluids by 7 p.m. Okay, the next thing is bathing. So it says limit showers and baths to one or twice a week. Make them short, 2 minutes or less, and warm, not hot. Remember that you're only washing because you need to make the skin clean, keep the skin clean and free from infection. Use soap-free, unperfumed body wash if you need to. Sorry. Use soap-free, unperfumed body wash if you need to. Otherwise, just water. Use a soft setting on the shower, not high pressure, so as not to damage fragile skin or wash away crust. Now, for me, I already explained I was bird bathing. I think I bird bath for 7 months. Yeah, 7 months out of my CSW. Like, I can't say 7. I probably, let's see, 5 months. I think I was bird bathing for 5 months. When I say bird bath, I would go in the bathroom. I had my Muslim cloths, which I showed before. And I would wash my arms and get my in-betweens and my butt. And I would, clean my face up at first. Then when my face started to get messed up, I did not wash my face. I didn't wash my face. I didn't wash my neck. I didn't do none of that. I just let it do its thing and dry all the way out. And I feel like when I first got up, I would be stiff. But once I started moving, my body would ease up and it wouldn't be as painful as it was when I first woke up and I couldn't move. I'm not talking about the first couple of months. I'm talking about like 4, 5, 6, 7, those months. But in the thick of it, it was very painful. I couldn't stretch my arms. I couldn't make my bed. I couldn't do a lot of things. It's so important that people know how it's just like a disability, and I don't feel like this is something that anybody should make fun of someone for, because it's not something that even I would wish on somebody that doesn't like me. It's not a good experience, Adults are not the only ones that go through this. We have animals that go through this, actually, because they do give animals steroids. And it also happens to a lot of babies, and I send my heart goes out to anybody going through this right now. It's very, very difficult. But like I was saying, I didn't do any showers for about 5 months. And I was able to do that because I was not working. And it was just me in the house, me and my ex-boyfriend. And I wasn't smelly or anything like that. I didn't use deodorant. I felt like I wasn't prescribing. I wasn't sweating like I normally would. A lot of things changed in my body while I was going through that. So I just made sure I was clean. I changed my clothes. I cleaned up my bed regularly. And just every second that I made it through, every minute, every hour, every day was a blessing for me. Okay? So you don't have to take a shower if you don't want to. If you do, there are people who take what is that, Dead Sea salt baths. I tried doing that. My body didn't want any water. Let's just put it at that. So now for the clothing, they say wear thin, light cotton clothes, not heavy synthetic ones. I think that's self-explanatory. Like, I couldn't wear anything that was not cotton. So a lot of the times I was wearing all his shirts, most of his underwear, because like women's underwear was doing too much, or I just didn't have on underwear, like, or a top. Because at that point it was so irritated. I could only have shirts. Like, even if it was a shirt that had a sleeve, it literally was just here, just laying there, and then I would have to stuff it with Muslim cloths. And then it says you need airflow to keep the skin cool. So use like loose clothes, basically, like, joggers. Buy you a couple of men's. If you're a woman or man, you could get your not boxers, but like briefs, the cotton ones, and then get them like in a bigger size. Only cotton t-shirts, nothing synthetic. It just irritates your skin. And that's for basic life. I learned a lot of stuff that I want to do now going forth, versus like being cute. You know, you could do it sometimes, but a lot of times our skin doesn't want all that stuff anyway. Okay, so the environment, they said to keep your room cool. Dr. Sato finds that the cooler the air is better for healing the skin than warm atmospheres. Keep your environment moderately humid, not too dry and not too hot, not too moist. Yeah, with that, I needed to be in a cool setting because your skin dries out and then it makes it worse. It makes you irritated, then you sweat, then it causes you to scratch again. So I preferred it to be cool. Even though I was shivering at one point, I went through like the shivers. I went through 1 minute I'm super super hot and then I'm super super cold. But the crazy thing was I could not cover. I couldn't cover all the way up. It would irritate my skin. I do remember that. So even though I was cold and I couldn't put on any hoodies, like because my skin would, it just I couldn't be covered. So it was very very difficult. But I would say if you could get a hoodie on, like this one is cotton. If you could get it on, then you know God bless you. But make sure it's cotton because it will help your body so much better. Don't use gauze. Don't use anything that's going to stick into the wounds and rip it off because that's not helping the healing process. But definitely stay cool. And that's really the steps of. Let me see if there's anything that I'm missing. But that's really the steps of no moisture treatment. I'm gonna have everything up on the screen. Okay. And now they're saying that you should exercise. They're telling you to exercise for around 30 to 60 minutes a day to optimize healing. It should be exercise that raises your heart rate, not gentle strolls. And they're saying if you lose your water intake from then, you can go ahead and put it back. And in my experience, I was not exercising. But maybe you can consider me walking. I have an app on my phone. It's called an activity tracker. And I would walk around the kitchen area like back and forth until I felt like I hit 1,000 steps. And that was not in the beginning though. That started around my month 5. But prior to that, I was not working out. I could not move. I couldn't do anything. So when I would go in the kitchen to cook something around month 5, then I started to walk around the kitchen, like just pace and pace and pace and pace. And that's how I get my steps in. But I lost a lot of weight. I'm just now getting my weight back. My face was really, really small. And that was due to what I was going through. I was really skinny. I wouldn't be surprised if I was 98 pounds. Like, but you know, I'm bouncing back. And I'm going to be better than ever. Okay. And then they're telling you, of course, you know, eat well, sleep well, reduce your stress. In the beginning, I can't agree with the sleep well. I could not sleep. I was sleeping in 10-minute intervals, and I had to sleep like this. Literally like this. I couldn't lay back. I couldn't lay on my side. I couldn't do none of that because my neck was so messed up. I couldn't even turn. Okay, I couldn't turn. I had to look like this. I had to look like this. If somebody came up behind me, I couldn't turn my neck. I had to take my time, shift my whole body, you know, to go like this. I couldn't do nothing. Okay. Reduce your stress. Yes, I stopped watching a lot of shows that was triggering to me. I didn't do much, but the first 3 months I couldn't do much. The blue light bothered me. Phones bothered me. Computers bothered me. TV bothered me. But when I was able to watch, I would watch something funny, like Marlon, The Last OG, like, you know, things that made me laugh a little bit, and then I would turn it off. Very isolating, very, very lonely journey, especially when I don't want to say it was lonely and it's in the aspect of nobody was checking on me, because I did have, you know, two hands of people. Well, I don't want to say two hands, probably one hand of people that knew what I was going through, like really knew, and they would check on me. My mom was like the person the most that would check on me every day. Alexa, stop. But like, A lot of people didn't know what I was going through. They just thought like I had probably a regular rash or something like that when somebody would mention it. But, you know, because nobody that I knew about this. And I was just learning about it too. But I did know that eventually I would come on to my channel. I kept saying I want to share my story. I want to share my story. I want to share my story. And I wanted to be confident in who I was when I was putting these things out, because there are a lot of people that are not friendly and they're not nice and they don't care what you're going through, and they would use the lowest moment in your life to make you feel some type of way. And I didn't want that to stop me from putting out what I went through, because I know what I'm going through, many people are going through, and I want you to know that it's okay to share your story if you want to, and not to allow those people that are just heathens to make you feel like you can't share your story. Because it's nothing that you did, it's something that your body is reacting to. On the scratching, they saying that, you know, try to scratch it gently through clothes or gauze rather than directly onto skin to reduce damage. I would say that's easier said than done. I would scratch through clothes, but like I was telling you guys, I couldn't wear clothes. I'm being completely honest. I could not wear clothes. Most of the time I just had on a brief. That's it. Like, walk around the house, everything out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't. The clothes used to bother me. Even the cotton ones at one point, because mine goes down all around my boob and stuff. So, like, I couldn't wear anything. They're saying don't pick at your scabs. And then they also mention, like, through the gauze, don't use gauze. If there's anything I could tell you through this process, do not use gauze. Okay, I'm going to link the Muslim cloths down below again for you guys. But gauze is horrible, okay? It's horrible. Don't pick at scabs across on purpose. That's true. Because it's just, when you get a scab and a crust, it's basically the skin trying to heal underneath, so it could push that off and remake new skin. So when you keep picking at your scabs or your crust, all it's doing is making it harder for the skin to come back to normal. Okay, don't put anything at all on the skin. Not foundation, eyeshadow, blush, you know, sunblock. Like, don't put nothing on your skin when you're going through no moisture treatment. Just leave it, let it do what it does. It looks ugly. You look crazy, but that's not what it's about when you're going through that. You have to go through the process. Stay committed. It hurts like hell. It's the worst experience. Trust me, I freaking know. Like, I still have PTSD about it. Like, when I'm making these videos and I'm popping in my pictures, I cry a lot of times when I'm editing my videos, because I still am trying to figure out how she got through that. She is me. I'm she. But it's still like an out-of-body experience. And it's hard seeing that, because I start to remember what I was going through and how I was feeling and what I was thinking, and the way I would have to train my mind every day to just keep going, you know? Don't worry, you got this. And it says don't wipe away the ooze, and definitely don't use tissue paper. Cover with a single piece of thin cotton gauze. Replace gauze bandages and squares within the week, and check for signs of infection. Again, do not use gauze. I would say when I was oozing and I used the Muslim cloth, it still would stick to it. But the difference between the gauze and the Muslim cloth is when I would pull off the Muslim cloth, yes, it would rip a little bit, but it didn't take any skin with it. And after doing my research with some of the people that I seen using gauze, it was like in their wounds. It was in their wounds, part of their skin, and I didn't want that. You know, I'm the type, I'm a little girl. Like, when I was a little girl, I hated getting cuts and stuff like that, because I didn't like, you know, the bandages and stuff sticking to it. So I had to figure out a way to not make that hurt. So yeah, I'm gonna link that for you guys down below one more time. And I hope that this video is informative enough for you guys. I know I had somebody ask me if I did the no moisture treatment. I did. I did it for, I wouldn't say 7 months, but I did it for like 6 months. because at first I was trying to use castor oil and all these different oils that people were saying would help, and none of those things helped me. Not one of them things helped me. What helped me the most was drinking soursop, coconut water, drinking the celery juice. If you don't follow the medical medium, you should follow him on Instagram. I'm gonna try to put his stuff in on the side if I could find it. And he has some books. You should look that up. It's gonna teach you all the things that we can't do as people who suffer from eczema that can turn into TSW, like dealing with like your fabric softener and all that. I changed my fabric softener. I don't want to name them, but I don't use the detergents in the store anymore because they're not really good for our skin, period, which is why they're so cheap. So fragrance stuff, I couldn't use them before, but sometimes I would use them. I'm no longer using those things. And you really have to watch what you eat, even when your skin starts clearing up. Like, okay, for instance, this week my sister had got some I'm talking fast because it seems like my phone is dying, but my sister had got some chocolate chip cookies, and I didn't have cookies in a long time, and those are my favorite. So, you know, I was eating them, and now like right here is like irritated and stuff. So you have to be careful of what you're putting in your body. You know, luckily I take my charcoal pill still, and I still take my soursop, so I know that I could get that under control, my scratching. But yes, just be careful of the things you're putting in your body, putting on your body, and the things you're washing your clothes in, the things you're washing your comfort in. I use Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, and I wash my stuff in that. I do not wash my clothes with any of the big detergents that you see on the TV anymore. I can't. It makes me scratch. Stay away from canned food. I know this is like additional, but anything canned, anything with wheat, it's not good for us. Eat a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables. I can't say it enough. You can season up your vegetables. You can make smoothies if you don't want to eat too much. Like, I know I went through a period where I couldn't eat like that, so I was just doing smoothies. I'll make a big batch and then pour them into bottles and just drink it throughout the day when I was hungry. And I always have my celery juice in the morning before I put anything else in my stomach. But yeah, I hope that this video is very informative for you guys. I don't want it to be too long. So have a beautiful day. And if you have any questions or any suggestions that you want me to do for a video for you guys, just leave it down below. So have a good night, have a good evening, and have a good day. And I'll see you next time.